In this scenario, the rescuer descends with the casualty past an immediate set of anchors by performing a series of rope-to-rope transfers. The difficulty here is in passing through the loops that occur in this type of system. The rescuer must avoid becoming tangled or wedged in the bottom of the loops. Meticulous rope management and efficient rope transfers are required. Several variations are possible within this scenario. Here, the rescuer demonstrates the techniques and sequence which best suits his immediate needs. The rescuer begins his ascent to the casualty by climbing the first set of ropes to the anchors. Once he has reached the anchors, the rescuer changes over to descent mode. In longer rebelays, the rescuer would change over directly to the new set of ropes on the near side of the loop. Next, the rescuer attaches his chest and hand ascender onto the casualty's safety line at the far side of the loop. A second backup device is attached in a similar position on the casualty's working rope. The rescuer attempts to maintain as much height as possible during the transfer by aggressively pulling in the slack through the chest ascender and moving the second backup device into a high position. The rescuer now lowers out until supported on his ascending system in a line below the new anchors. He must be careful not to allow his chest ascender to become loaded in the bottom of the loop. The rescuer then removes the descender and original backup device and continues his ascent to the casualty. The rescuer collects additional equipment from the casualty. Next, the rescuer must perform a pick-off rescue with the casualty in descent mode. Here, the rescuer chooses to transfer the casualty onto the rescuer's equipment to improve his position and control for the difficult maneuvers ahead. The rescuer places a second backup device above the casualty's descender on the casualty's working line. He removes the original backup device. The rescuer ascends until slightly above the casualty and changes over into descent mode. The rescuer frequently checks that his ropes remain clear and untangled. The rescuer now makes connections to the Casualty. A short sling connects the Casualty's sternum to the rescuer's descender, and the Casualty's cow's tail is connected to the rescuer's sternal D-ring. The rescuer re-establishes his short sling connection, this time being careful not to trap or foul the working line. With the two rescue connection points established, the rescuer removes the Casualty's backup device from the working line. A control carabiner is added to the Casualty's descending system. The rescuer lowers the Casualty onto the rescuer's descending system. The Casualty's descender is removed and racked for later use. The control carabiner is added to the rescue system. This is a requirement when using the Petzl ID for descending with a two-person load. The rescuer descends with the Casualty until he is level with the re-belay anchors. The descender is locked off. He must not descend too low or he will risk foundering in the bottom of the re-belay loop. The rescuer uses the Casualty's descender to connect to the working line at the far side of the loop. A connection is established from the Casualty to the new descender. The ropes are carefully managed to prevent fouling. A backup device is attached to the safety line, and also at the far side of the re-belay loop. The rescuer begins lowering onto the new system, alternating descending and pulling in on the new system. The rescuer does this to gain as much height as possible on the new system and avoid loading the system in the bottom of the loop. Since 4 connection points are in use, the control carabiner can be omitted during this portion of the maneuver. The rescuer completes the lowering process and the new system is loaded. The previous system is transferred directly to the next set of ropes. The rescue connections to the Casualty are maintained. Once again, the rescuer lowers with the Casualty onto a new descent system and completes the rope-to-rope transfer by removing the previous system. Additional friction is added to the descent system at the control rope, and the rescuer descends to the ground with the Casualty.